Okay, today we're on a service call and back at one of our favorite boilers here. We actually filmed a video on how to clean New Yorker boilers with this one, and it won't fire. So our customer said that he bled the pump to see if he was getting oil, and he was, but it's not firing, and we're having ignition problems. He said last week it was giving him trouble, but he was able to get it to light. And this week, today it's not firing at all. So that kind of indicates to me that it might be the igniter. First, I'm going to turn off the power, which we have off for safety while I open this up. But the easiest test to do first is to just run a screwdriver or something that's not going to shock you. Make sure it has insulation on it, or wear a glove or something. And we're going to run it across the igniter while it's running. So in order to do that, you open it up. We're going to pull the CAD cell out, which is the flame sensor. And again, make sure the power is off for this. So that's out. And then I'm going to turn the power on, and we'll just run our screwdriver across the igniter there. Power on. The primary is on hard lockout, so we're going to hold the info button. There we go. And we do have spark. Very good spark. So I'm going to shut the power off again. And we're going to keep looking. So our motor was working great, our igniter. So with ignition problems, next we're going to look at the oil side of things and inside at the nozzle. I'm going to do one more test before I close this up and try and run it and see what it does. If you have a voltmeter, you would go to ohms. It looks like an upside down horseshoe on your meter. And I'm going to run one leg of the meter to the prong, and then the other side to somewhere on the burner, like right here, for ground. And if you do that to both sides of this, it should read the same. And that's a test you can do just to see if the igniter is going bad. On ohms. So I just did that test, and I was reading from the screw here to each leg 0.64 ohms, and it was the same. So that test, it proved to be good. Okay, so we're going to turn the power on, see if it'll fire up. Stand by. Okay, so it did light, and it's a little smoky, but that is normal when you have extra oil inside, so you just have to let that burn off. But it did shut off. So why? DT. With the timing of that, it seems like it is related to the CAD cell, which when I looked inside, that flame sensor was clean. So it could be reading a bad flame, which is very likely. And if it was doing that, it would shut off the burner. So that CAD cell looks really good. Or it could be a bad connection with the flame sensor wires. But I'm going to try and read the ohms that the flame sensor is reading. It did show that briefly. And the ohms for the flame should be between 4 and 700. So 400 and 700. When it's higher than that, that means the flame is an ugly flame. So the ohms are very high, but they're dropping. Steady. No, they're very high. 2,200 and rising. So this is going to shut off again because that is too high. Shut off. Well, as you can see, it's not shutting off, so the ohms might just be barely low enough for it to not trigger the safety in it. So we're going to check the nozzle and check the air adjustments on the side, which could cause a bad flame. We did set it correctly last time we were here, so I'm going to check for the nozzle and make sure that the inside is not clogged, to see why our flame is not smooth and why the ohms are not between 400 and 700. So what I did was I removed the nozzle assembly out, checked the nozzle. I did replace that. I also cleaned the retention head, the fins that are inside of here, because they were dirty, and the tip of the electrodes, these two things, was pretty dirty, so I brushed those off. I also opened up this cover and took these bolts out to look inside and make sure that the inside was not clogged with soot, and it wasn't. It looked good. So now that we checked those different parts, I am going to turn it on again and test it and see if our ohms are lower and if it decides to give us trouble. And there we have it. Our ohms are back down to about 700. So our nozzle was giving us trouble. It could have been that and the retention head. It's hard to say, but it is running very nice now. I will do a combustion test with my testo, my analyzer, just to make sure that the air settings are correct. But it looks like we're fixed. If you're curious how to change a nozzle, we do have another video on how to clean a New Yorker boiler that shows how to remove a nozzle and replace it. And if you could like and subscribe to our channel, we would greatly appreciate it. We're trying to make more videos for our customers and just to help people out in general. Give us ideas on things that you'd like to see, and we'll see you in the next video.